Not a single person listening to me right now has ever voted for President of the United States. That is just another reason the Texas lawsuit fails on its face. Texas's argument is that the Georgia election impacted the national selection of the President of the United States, and that's simply on its face not true. No one in Georgia went to the polls on November 3rd and voted for President of the United States. In fact, no one in this entire nation went to the polls on November 3rd and voted for President of the United States. What you went to the polls and voted for on November 3rd was your own state's selection to the Electoral College. And your state's selection to the Electoral College does not affect Texas in any way, shape, or form. Texas is fundamentally, constitutionally not harmed by you choosing a list of names of people to go to the Electoral College. So Texas has no standing, and Texas knows it has no standing because Texas cited exactly 0 cases to show it had standing to challenge Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin's elections for members to the Electoral College. The members of the Electoral College, they will vote for President of the United States. Unless you have been a member of the Electoral College, you have never voted for President of the United States in your entire life. No matter how many presidential elections you've gone to in November, you have never voted for President of the United States unless you have been in the Electoral College, and then you voted in December. When the Electoral College votes in December, Texas has a congressional delegation. And it is the job of Texas's congressional delegation to challenge the Electoral College. In our constitutional system, it is Texas's congressional delegation that challenges the electors to the Electoral College and their vote. It is not the Supreme Court that has a role in this. Now, listen, I understand. I hear from you. We've had people, they fell off as I was talking from on hold. They want Texas to be able to do this because they do not want Joe Biden to be president of the United States. I get it. I don't want the guy to be president of the United States either. I supported the other guy. But our system of government still matters. And you don't get the right to blow up our system of government just because you don't like the outcome of the election. You think it was unfair or you think it was stolen. There are ways you do things. And you don't sue another state for that state's procedure to pick their own electoral college members. And that's why I feel very strongly the Supreme Court is, even if they hear the case, they're going to throw it out. And I don't know that they're even going to hear the case. But they can't even reject the case until they've given Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin a chance to respond. Texas's own Solicitor General refused to play a part in this. And here's one of the ironies here is that in matters of equity, not matters of law, but matters of equity. And equity is there's kind of I can't explain it to you, but you have law and you have equity, and equity is essentially to ensure fair outcomes under the law. And one of the rules that has to be applied if you're suing under the rules of equity is you have to have clean hands. You can't accuse someone of doing something when you yourself have done it. You've got to have clean hands. And in this case, Texas's governor extended early voting times and locations for voting. So Texas is suing Georgia for the same behavior that Texas engaged in. Under the rules and principles of equity, that stops the Texas lawsuit in its tracks because Texas does not have clean hands. And then when you get to the law side of it, what law does Texas rely on to sue Georgia? There is none. That's why the case is a bogus case. And I will tell you, here's what's going on. The Attorney General of Texas, Ken Paxton, is under a federal investigation, federal criminal probe. And he is desperate for a pardon by Donald Trump. And that's what this case is. It is him doing dance to try to get Donald Trump's attention to get a pardon from Donald Trump. It is a performance. It has no basis in law or equity to go to the Supreme Court. Now you can say, well, yeah, I mean, the Supreme Court can't even throw the case out without putting it on the docket and giving the other side a chance to respond. The Supreme Court is following its own laws and procedures. Texas is not. And that's why I would be shocked if this case went anywhere at all. I've got a buddy of mine who bet me a beer that the Supreme Court will rule 5-4 in Donald Trump's favor. I don't know what he's smoking, but man, I was happy to take the vote. I mean, I drink cheap beer anyway, so it's not like he's going to be out a lot of money, just a Miller Lite. But this isn't going to happen.